11. And again, Beloit has 14 passing attempts all season. As a team, 17 pass plays for Princeton this year. So this is not where they want to be from a down and distance. Washington shows blitz. And another issue.
Well, that'll drive a coach absolutely crazy. Now you basically have taken yourself out of anything other than a passing down that deep in your own territory. What you don't want to do here if you're Princeton is compound it with some type of massive mistake.
They're trying to avoid those unforced errors, to use the tennis terminology. Eric Archer, his first year as the head coach. 5-man rush. Pressure comes. Quarterback loses the football. Picked up by Washington down inside the 5-yard line. It is Aiden Chestnut that recovers. First and goal to go for the Hatchets.
And how many times have we seen mistakes breed mistakes? Literally just talked about that. That's the last thing you want to do is compound the mistakes with a big turnover. And that's exactly what Princeton does. Give Washington all kinds of credits. A really strong rush. And then was really on top of that fumble.
Let's see if the Hatchets can take advantage. Princeton opened 49-6. And again, you can kind of scratch last week's game because Heritage Hills is one of the best teams in the state. First and goal, 2-yard line. Just quarterback plunge. And
I don't think he's in.
Yeah, he is down just inside the 1-yard line. So Wright gets half the distance of what he needs, second down.
Well, the key there is Princeton stayed low and literally just dove to the ground, and that's what you want to do as a defensive line. There's just not very much time or room to maneuver, so your key surge is down low and quick and just try to just stymie any momentum the offensive line or running backs get.
Right again, and this time waiting for a signal. He's in. Touchdown.
There you go.
Touchdown for the Hatchets. Wright gets his third touchdown of the season. And it's 6-0 Washington within the opening quarter.
Well, just another good surge by the offensive line. And the best thing you could do as a team is make a team pay dearly for a fumble or a mistake. And that's clearly what Washington does. Really good start for them.
So points off turnovers. Again, an absolutely gorgeous day. A little warm, but let's not complain after one of the best stretches of weather we have had in this state for quite some time. Washington 7, Princeton nothing.
We got a couple more months before we start belly aching about
That's
the weather.
Right.
And this is not one of them. It seems like every time we come down here for a homecoming, they order gorgeous weather, and it's produced. That's pretty cool.
So Browning on to boot this ball away. Going for the onside kick, but
I like it.
Princeton was wise to it and able to fall on it. Was Jalen Martin able to track it down.
I like coaches who feel like they got some momentum, try to capitalize on it, take a little. That's not a huge risk, but it didn't work out, but I like it. You never know.
So the first drive, calamitous for Princeton. Princeton looking for their first 3-1 start since 2018.
Greg, we have 6 minutes left in this quarter play. That just flew by.
Tigers at their first 2-0 start this year in 9 years. How about this old full house backfield here for the Tigers? Handoff goes to Pope. And again, he has been their breadwinner. And he picks up 5 yards on first down.
Old Lee Corso used to call that a formation of the elephant eye. Just overloads. You have 3 backs.
That was almost the old wishbone formation,
yeah.
Just not the
just
option element of it.
Yeah, just a little variation of it.
And lone wide receiver here near side. Handoff again. And
Look
that
out.
is first down and touchdown. No flags on the play. That is Cox. He'll have his first visit to the end zone this season. He'll do so from 53 yards out. And Prince was an extra point away from tying the game.
Wow, Cox had a great hold, took advantage of it. He's only had 39 yards rushing this whole year. Clearly had more than that on that run alone. Let's take a look at it. He takes that lead backer, which is what you do in the power I or whatever formation you want to call it. And there was just really nothing between him and the end zone after he was able to get by that first layer.
So, extra point try coming up here. This is Charlie Wilhite. That kick is good. So, the lead short-lived for the Hatchets, and off we go to the track meet. Washington 7, Princeton 7. We're back after this on IHSAA. A look at the visiting Princeton fans across the way. Something to smile about for the Tigers. Again, these are two schools that traditionally have struggled in football. The Princeton off to a great start. And when you have the two teams that know, hey, maybe our best chance of a win is against the other one, you see the maximum effort from both sides.
Yeah, no question about that. We talked about this. Both teams looking at the opponent, just understanding that both have a shot to win this game, and we're exactly where we are, tied up. Boy, Princeton wasted no time, Greg, answering the bell.
This one fielded by Turner back at about the 4-yard line. Turner has room to run and may go all the way, but flag is thrown.
Oh, my.
This will come back. There was a rather significant hold about midfield. There was a reason why that was an open lane at midfield. So, unfortunately, it was a 96-yard kick return. Will come back because of a holding penalty.
Wow, now that's two penalties now on good returns. They got to get that cleaned up in a hurry.
So the flag is laying at the 41-yard line. Not sure if that's exactly where it came. But as you take a look at the replay, Jan, watch kind of the last block in the middle of the field.
There it is.
Kind of see kind of the player being kind of shoved away there. You saw a shoulder pad being shown. That's usually an indicator. Holding against the Hatchets.
If you're a lot less likely to get that call if you keep your hands and fingers extended. Once you grab and do that, you're asking for it because they're looking for that, especially on the return of a good kickoff. Holding, Hatchets.
So the penalties against Washington show 2 penalties for 20 yards. But they've taken 6 points off the field, and they've also negated about 100 yards of kick return yardage. But yet you're still tied at 7.
Yeah, you can't argue that, but I'm sure Coach Moore's not going to be real excited about the 2 mistakes that, from a yards perspective, have really been costly. And starting position, which we talked so much about.
IHSAA gets the ball here and goes off right tackle, and he is the 3rd player to slip on a carry tonight. And usually sometimes you see that from the visiting team and not the home team. IHSAA picks up 2. I can promise you that the field has not changed.
Yeah.
It's been here now for
hard to say.
3 years. There are some coconut husks that are involved in this style of turf. But again, we're 2 years in.
I remember we were down here when they first put this turf down here, and they were showing us the little bits of coconut or whatever the substance was.
Handoff goes to Clark, and Clark. 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 Handoff's been in and out of the lineup due to injury. He was one of these kind of star returnees for the Hatchets this season.
Boy, he had separation. He had great separation. Ball just overthrown. A little hesitation fake. Man, he kicked on the Jets. There was a 2-yard separation. You get him the ball, Greg, and that's an easy 6.
Sure, 12 carries for 50 yards. And he has played a bit more sparingly than Coach Morris would have liked going into the season.
I like the call. I like the call. You got to keep the defense thinking at all times.
2nd down and 10. Take the handoff to Chestnut and Wright. Hit in the backfield and dropped. Also got a Washington offensive lineman down. Thankfully, he's helped back up. That will be a loss on the play, a loss of 1. It sets up 3rd down and 11. And honestly, Jan, this is kind of the first time since, say, that first drive stalled that Washington has found themselves behind the chains.
Yeah, they've stayed ahead of the chains almost the whole first half. 2:42 left in this one. They have so many nice plays, and then they, for some reason, just have one of those plays where just miscommunication or some misassignment has cost them. This one now 3rd and long, big down.
It's a 3rd down and 11. Good job on the blitz pickup, at least originally, but potentially just too many bodies to deal with, and that one is going to be picked off.
Yeah, didn't want that one.
That has got to be thrown away if you are right. Making the interception for Princeton, that is Luke Kunkel, who was down the field as a defensive lineman for Wright. It is the 4th pick he has thrown this season. And Princeton takes over at their own 41-yard line.
Great pressure from the backside of this defensive line. To your point, Greg, you can just get this one out of bounds and call it a day. You throw this one up, good shot, it gets intercepted. And they were in zone read, and they had 3 people around the ball. It's not a killer turnover, but you certainly just don't want to hand the ball over at the 40 either.
We have a player that has to exit. Not sure if it's an equipment issue, maybe even a blood timeout. It is Quentin Volz, that is the player that is having head of the sideline. So quickly Dakota Coons will come in and replace him. And so far for Princeton, 5 offensive snaps. Toss play goes to Pope. Just student body left and picks his way through the holes and keeps the legs turning for a 9-yard pickup. 2nd and short.
You know, Greg, as an ex-defensive lineman, you don't like this offense at all because it's one thing to have a big guy over the top of you, and if you can get rid of him, you got 2 more blockers right behind him. They're always throwing at least 1 to 2 extra blockers behind the initial blocker, so you got to have help, but the key is for a defensive nose or lineman, you got to hold your ground because you're going to have blockers flying all over the place.
So 2nd and 1. In contact made the backfield and nowhere to go. That is Cox, who had the rushing touchdown last time he touched it. He got back to the line of scrimmage and no more. 3rd down and a yard, and Cameron Wilson in on the tackle for the Hatchets.
That's a big play by Wilson. That's a solo tackle. Really did a good job shedding his block. Use your hands. Always want to use your hands up front, and got rid of that block and made a solo tackle. For a nose guard, that's a really nice play.
You would think this might be 4-down territory if needed for Princeton. Just the quarterback keep, and
I don't think he got it.
Got back to the line of scrimmage and turned around. Good job to stiffen up that time by Washington. Jordan Demick got into the mix.
Yeah, great surge by that front line. Linebackers right behind the defensive backs. You time that, Greg. What you want to do is you always, as a defense guy, is watching the ball out of the corner of your eye and anticipate a little bit, especially when it's short down.
First time that either side has gone forward on 4th down. This may be hard count timeout territory. We'll see. Play clock is at 19, so plenty of time to wait this out. In Princeton will not wait that long. They will take a timeout. Let's take it with them. 4th down when we come back to Washington. We're tied at 7 here at Hatchet Hollow on the ISC Sports Network. So 4th down and short. So we need to go from just shy of the 50-yard line to the plus side of the 49 here. Early first quarter, an absolutely gorgeous night in Davies County. Greg Rakestraw, Jan Bosch with you here on the ISC Sports Network. Quarterback is under center. He's got 2 tailbacks, 6 yards deep. 9 in the box for the Hatchets. Handoff goes to Pope. Second effort going to be awfully close. I think he did just enough to move the chains. He did. First down.
Well, he gets his first down because he hit that line like a track runner with a gunshot. He hit that line at full speed. Anything short of that, he never gets his first down.
Kingston Russell in on the tackle for the Hatchets. Second first down of the game for Princeton. And that will be the end of quarter number 1. A good one here at Hatchet Hollow, which is what we expected. Big plays by each side and 1 touchdown to boot. We're tied at 7. Washington in the moment. You're watching high school football on the ISC Sports Network. Well, you can do something that we did tonight, and that is discover downtown Washington. Visit historic downtown Washington. Enjoy the Davies County Historic Museum, Saturday Farmers Market, and First Fridays at the Washington Commons. Shop, dine, explore, discover downtown Washington. You know, almost our tradition, just like coming down here, is to go to Bobe's Pizza before we come here.
Delicious tonight.
It's a pretty good double play right there.
I would think so.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line for Princeton. And Greg Rakestraw, Jan Bozier with you here on ISC. Pitch goes right side to Cox. Chased down from behind and was not let go. Carter Tolbert over to make the play. Lost, second down.
You see big number 54, Greg. Really good job from that backside of making the tackle.
And Carter, 5'9", 200-pound senior. So second down and 11. And this will be the 11th offensive play for Princeton. The first 10 have all been rushing plays. Really, their offense has been one big carry by Cox, that for 53 yards. We're going to have a repair of a shoulder pad before we get this next snap out of the way. Second and 11.
Blitz.
Quarterback keep. They get Hatchets have penetration. Can they get the corner?
Boom.
Holding the edge and limiting the damage to a gain of a yard. That is Merrill that makes the play. Again, one of the two-way players for the Hatchets. He had 14 tackles in the season coming in. And it's third down.
Yeah, again, I really like the way Washington's extending these left and right. See, here comes the backside help. There's your outside linebacker, and they're really protecting the edge defensively, and that's hard to do.
First real spread formation here for the Tigers on 3rd down and 9 after Belote picked up 2. Play clock is at 6. Again, Hatchets bring pressure. Belote looks, fires, catch made, first down. Heck of a conversion by the Tigers again. Belote completed 9 passes all season. That's his first completion of the day, and it goes for 10 yards and a Tiger first down.
You know, a lot of times, Greg, teams that don't pass a lot, it's the quality of what they do in that passing game. And the quarterback really just took his time, made sure he had a very good pass, and he did, and the receiver was wide open, and that was plenty for a first down.
So 11 on the gate. The Tigers move the chains. Quarterback will keep. And a pair of Hatchets with a third coming in. Turner on the tackle. Russell on the tackle as well. Officially no gain, second down.
You know, so far, I really like the fact that Washington's really had some good pursuit. The defense is, you know, Coach Morse talks about this defense needing to get better, and I think in this first half, shy of a couple mistakes, I think they've played pretty well so far. I like the way they're really, the pursuit angles, the help, all those types of things are really pretty good so far.
Russell came in with 12 tackles on the season. 3 of those for a loss. Second down. Toss play right side to Pope. Get him off the edge, get him some speed, and he is gone. Touchdown, Princeton. No flags on the play. 37 yards out. And for Pope, that is his 7th touchdown carry of the first month of the campaign.
Well, he's the type of runner you can't make a mistake on. You can't take a chance and miss. They get a good seal block there, and he's got to get him right there because after he gets that full head of steam, you're not catching because he hits the line of scrimmage as good as anybody I've seen this year.
So Princeton in front. As we said, these two teams have alternated wins each of the last 6 years. If that trend continues, that's not good for the home team.
No.
Washington won that game a season ago.
And he is, as advertised, man, he hits the line full speed ahead when he has the ball.
Wilhite's kick is up and good. Make it 14-7 Princeton, early second quarter. We're back after this on ISC. Arts and culture, historic landmarks, museums, recreation, Amish experiences, dining, shopping, entertainment, and more. Just a few of the things you get to discover when you visit Daviess County. Go to visitdaviesscounty.com for more information.
Well, it's clear now, Greg, what the mission is for the Hatches. They have got to know where the Pope is. No pun intended.
Oh, that's pun very much intended.
You know, the running backs that are they're good, but the backs that are strong and hit that line full speed ahead, you can't make a mistake or they make you pay.
Hatchets, good job to break a couple of tackles, and that is LaShore, who is down a 30-yard line, and frankly, for Washington, the win on that play was no flag on the kickoff return after that happened each of the first couple of returns. And honestly, Washington has moved the ball.
They have.
All three drives. They have to finish. It's been two big plays so far for Princeton.
Yeah, no question about it. And their mistakes on the kicking game have hurt them because they had some opportunities, had one called back, and just some things that out of the kicking game that just kind of has haunted them a little bit. Now, listen, tons of time to make up for it. They've got to your point, they've got to finish these drives. Keep that offense for Princeton off the field.
You're starting to see LaShore work more into the offense as well. That's always a good thing. IHSAA spins away from a tackler. And, you know, I think to our great friend Lance Scheib, who always talks about think players and not plays, which is exactly why they have moved IHSAA into the backfield. Find a way to get one of your best players the ball more often.
Absolutely, yeah. You have that type of athleticism. You have to find ways, to Lance and your point, of ways to get them the ball.
So IHSAA will step out for this play. It is Clark and Chestnut now that are in the backfield. This is one of 4 games currently going on in the ISC family of networks. Chestnut hurdles his own man. Good help side that time by Princeton. Over to make the play. That is Eli Powers that limits the run by Chestnut to a gain of 3, and it's 3rd and 3.
You know, that could have been for more yardage. Chestnut uses a whole lot of energy and just refused to go down there. Was hit a couple times early, got a little bit out of that, but I'll tell you that play was a workhorse for him because he had people all over him and got a couple out of it.
16 carries for 57 yards so far for Hatchet backs. 3rd and 3. Handoff goes to Chestnut, and he will have a first down right at the marker.
Big.
That'll move the chains after a 3-yard pickup.
Greg, with 8:13 left in this first half, Hatchets moving the chains, staying on the field, and finishing with the touchdown, tie this thing up. That would be the absolute perfect scenario now with 8:13 if they can figure out how to do that.
By the way, they've done a good job of navigating a grain silo there at defensive end because Waylon Taylor is 6'5" and 340.
He can come to my party anytime.
He's going to show up whether you want him to or not.
Just don't fight me at the buffet.
Toss goes left side, IHSAA.
Whoa.
Gets bent backwards. Don't get 3, maybe 4. He pops right back up. That was the other sizable young man we pointed out who was the last to get up off the pile in Mr. Taylor.
I'll tell you what I like. All of a sudden, the hitting has picked up on both sides. Both teams are super into it, and we've got some contact, and I like it.
I think both these teams kind of realize the importance of this game for the rest of their season.
I couldn't agree more. Talked about that coming into Game 4. Game 4, for whatever reason, has always had some emphasis going down the stretch.
Handoff goes to IHSAA. Bounces outside. Good open field tackle. Snared that time by Connor Marsh. IHSAA gets a couple. It'll be 3rd down, and we have a player slow to get up for Princeton.
Connor Marsh, just a junior, makes a tough play. I like a little passion there. Well, that's a tough play to make single-handed, but he did it.
It is the young man that had the interception in Luke Kunkel that was slow to get up off the turf. Both teams with 1 key turnover so far in this game. That has led to the only Hatchet points of the contest.
Let's see what play Washington brings in. 3rd and 5. It leaves your playbook kind of wide open here.
Matthew King, the player that came in to replace Kunkel.
Let's see what they draw up here. This is a huge, huge down.
Play clock is on your screen. It's underneath 15 here. And Again, it may be even a 4-down consideration for
I would
Hatchets.
think it is, actually.
Neither team has punted yet. Here comes the blitz. Quick hitter to Merrill, and
he drops it.
Started to make his move before he did one important thing, catch the ball.
It's just been some small things in this first half. It's kind of derailed Washington from a really good half to not a bad half, but just some things that was very catchable ball, just kind of wanted to run before he looked it in his hands.
So Browning is on to kick. His average is 35 yards a boot. His long is 56. Drake Cox is back deep to return for Princeton. First punt for either side.
Well, that drive looked like it had promise. Just like that, it got stymied, and now tons of time left on the clock.
Solid kick. And this will turn left and go out of bounds at the 14-yard line. That is a 40-yard punt without a return. The Daviess County Chamber of Commerce Foundation harnesses the power of business to create solutions for the good of the Chamber of Commerce and business community throughout Daviess County, Indiana. To learn more and make your contribution, contact the Daviess County Chamber of Commerce at discoverdavies.com.
Greg, this may be as big a defensive set for Washington as they've had all year. Down one score, have played pretty well, and the last thing you want here is to go down 2 scores before halftime. You'd love to get a stop and get the ball back maybe, but this is a big challenge now. Let's see how this defense reacts to the situation. They got their opponent deep. Big series in my book for this Washington defense.
Toss play goes right side. And contact made around the line of scrimmage. Couple of yards on the carry. So Emmett gets the tackle for the Hatchets. It'll be second down.
Good stop on first down. Always felt like defensively, if you could keep the runner less than 3 on first down from a defensive perspective, that's pretty successful play.
Volts is the split end near side. Carry up the middle. Good job on the lead block by Connor Marsh. That is Pope that takes it to the 17.
And
give him a gain of, call it 5, third down.
Nice block.
That's Marsh.
That's Marsh, yeah. Just head up, shoulder square, weight room type block.
So third down and 3.
Oh, now that should be off. I mean, somebody's got to get called here.
Everybody from Washington said, hey, wait a minute, there's some movement afoot.
Well, I think Princeton may have felt like that Washington cross. I don't think they did. And then the offensive player moved, and that's clearly offsides.
Now, normally it's where we talk about how this hurts a running attack, but frankly, Princeton converted a 3rd and 9 on their last drive with their lone completed pass so far of the game. Hatchets have been aggressive defensively. Showing blitz here. They'll bring 5. Quarterback keeps, rolls, throws, and
I think he's got it.
It's completed.
Yeah, it sure does.
And again, that's Volts on the carry, and that's good enough for a first down.
Volts goes up, kind of a, let's take a look at it. At first, it kind of looked like a 50-50 ball. Spreads to his right, kind of lofts it up, and just really kind of threw it where Volt is the only guy that could grab it, and that's a big first down, Greg.
Ends up being a completion of 20 yards. So, quarterback 2 for 2 for 30 yards for Quinton. That is his 8th catch of the season. And then after that, nice throw on the rollout on the easiest pitch and catch you could have. Just dirts one unintentionally, second down. The law of averages catching up with the senior signal caller for Princeton. So 2nd and 10, that does stop the clock with 4:50 left to go here in the opening half.
Big series. I've said it a few times, but boy, Washington, you cannot allow another score here. It really hurts.
Jet sweep to Pope, and Pope with blockers in front eventually maybe, finally goes down at the 35-yard line. However, all of this is coming back. And you could hear some calls from the sidelines. That was deemed to be a world-class hold and wipe away what was a very impressive run by Pope. What would have been a 29-yard pickup will largely go for naught.
I'd like to know what Pope bench presses.
Well, an entire defensive back.
Look at this, Greg. 1, 2, 3. And still was not down.
Believe it was Donovan Dean Jackson was the player that was being held on that play, the right defensive end for the Hatchets. 5th penalty for 30 yards against Princeton.
That's a big one, too.
Well, you've seen a kickoff return touchdown for Washington called back because of a penalty. That play comes back because of a hold. Now it's 2nd down and 17 after it happened 3 yards down the field. Jump ball thrown here, and that is out of bounds. And credit below just for getting rid of that football because he got hit as soon as he threw that.
Yeah, I like the coverage that time, too. Merrill on that coverage, really step for step, was thrown out there, but there was not any separation or space really for any great opportunity. I thought that's pretty good defense.
3rd down bells ringing here at Hatchet Hollow. Trying to keep this to a 1-score game. Washington began their season losing at county rival North Davies and then lost in a shootout to Southridge before coming back to beat Forest Park. Fumbled snap, picked up, and again, credit the quarterback for the heads-up play.
Yeah, that's a smart play.
Just get it out of the pocket, get it to the sidelines, minimize the damage. Here comes the punt team out for the first time tonight for Princeton.
Well, no question, Greg, that penalty really hurt that drive. Princeton, for their first time, really devastated a drive by some mistakes. There you see new head coach, first-year Archer. He says a lot of work, but so far he really likes the way the kids have bought into the program, put a new offense in, all kinds of news surrounding a team, and not a lot of time to work on new, you know.
And a timeout taken by Princeton, their 2nd of the half. I want to thank our friends at Country Oaks Golf Club in Montgomery. They highlight the unique hospitality and recreation in Southwest Indiana, located in Davies County. Experience golf as it should be. Book your next golf outing at Country Oaks Golf Club. So 4th down and 17 gives us a chance to thank our ISC Sports Network crew. Vince Morales, Dalton Cox, David Kahn, the unofficial mayor of Evansville, John Klotz, Eldon Wheeler. We found our thrill at Blueberry Hill. We brought Eldon Wheeler down here.
We did.
And thanks to Dominique Williams, and this is really cool. Dom's son plays for Princeton.
Yeah.
So how cool is that we could have the opportunity to come down and get a paycheck to watch your son play? That's a pretty good gig, Jim.
I was paid to see my.
You called a lot of his games.
I called a lot of his games.
You resemble that, Ramon.
I do resemble that. And listen, I love being paid, especially when he didn't play well. I can tell you that. Because it was miserable.
Somebody in the Bozier family won that.
and when I got paid when he played well, that was cherry on the sundae.
Yes, sir. Always thanks to Larry Cochran, AD here at Washington, member of the IHSAA Executive Committee, always being so gracious to us. In our 3rd consecutive year, we have brought our ISC cameras here to Hatchet Hollow. So 4th and long. Will Height. And he slipped 2, and an illegal formation or false start, but that is a break for Princeton. Because if that play is allowed to go on, that's about a 20-yard punt and a very returnable ball. So 6th flag against the visitors.
Let's see where his feet. Yeah, his left foot, when he went to plant it, just continued to move.
I can promise you conditions are not icy here in Southwest Indiana tonight. Now, with the sun has set, it's turned into a lovely evening, but the AC did get turned up a little bit on the way down here today.
I like it.
Kick, a better one. simply goes out of bounds. And we'll see exactly where this one is marked off. Hatchets will have the football past the 40, but how much further than that, time will tell. Look, this is one of 4 games rather, on the ISC family of networks tonight. Lawrence North and North Central, Avon and Brownsburg, Carroll and Delphi. The other games taking place tonight.
Some good games.
Lawrence North leading North Central 35-13. Carroll leading Delphi 45-0 at halftime. And Brownsburg 33-17 leading Avon just before halftime. Brownsburg, the #1 team in Class 6A and defending state champs.
Yeah, you know that the 35 or the score for Brownsburg, not surprising, but listen, some points scored on Brownsburg though. That's a little more surprising. That game's a little closer, at least for right now.
Handoff goes to Isa, and Isa upended after about a gain of 5. Washington's got all 3 timeouts. They got plenty of time here as they have again crossed the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
Of course, the folks in Southwest Indiana, we mentioned Brownsburg and John Hart. They know that last name very well around here.
Yes, they do.
Well, Hatchets will see the younger Coach Hart, as in Nick, down the street at Gibson
Southern. Yeah.
Derek these days at Jasper, after being the head coach at North Central. So 2nd and 5. Handoff goes to Chestnut. Good job of running through that first contact. Marsh amongst a trio of Princeton players on to make the play. It'll be 3rd down and 2. It has been a pretty rapidly moving opening half.
It really has. The clock has just flown by. A lot of penalties, it seems, kind of stopped it a little more than anything. Big down for the Hatchets. Got to get this first down right here.
This is Washington's version of the full house backfield here. 3 backs in the backfield. Handoff goes to Isa. Isa keeps the legs churning. Second effort. Going to be very close, and Jan, I think he got it.
Yeah, I think that last little lunge that he took, from my angle, I'm literally right across from it. Looked like he crossed the first down marker. It all depends where the guys place it. I think he's got it. I'm saying he's got it, Greg.
They'll bring the chain gang out just to be sure.
I could save him time.
But I would agree with you. And that is the joy of this facility. It is nearly brand new. It is still spectacular, but we don't get to have a closer view all season than we have tonight. I think he's got it by the nose of the football as they pull the chains tight. And that is confirmed.
Good. Make my eye doctor proud.
First down for the Hatchets.
Yeah, just this last surge, and if he doesn't, he's short. But stays on his feet, keep the old feet churning, and just enough to get that first down. That's why that drill where they have the running backs just pump those legs 1,000 times during preseason is so important, because it was worth a first down right there.
Already listed at 6'1" and 205. He just put some weight on for his senior year. Handoff goes to Clark. Has eyes as a lead blocker. And he is taken down at about the 38 or 39-yard line. And he'll pick up 4 yards. And clock continues to move with 2:20 and counting left to go.
Washington love to get some points here. Something to take into halftime with some momentum and close that lead a little bit. They just don't want to go in on this drive empty-handed. If they can find something, be a feather in their cap for sure.
And all 3 timeouts available. And motion man slips, but doesn't really affect the play. Clark gets a couple. And you're not in field goal range yet. You're still thinking about 6 and not 3. And now the Hatchets take a timeout and talk it over. So let's step aside with it. $1:41 to go before halftime. Hatchets driving again. They trail at 14-7. You're watching on the ISC Sports Network. Again, God's canvas at work. Those sunsets back to the west have been gorgeous to look at all night long. Greg Rakestraw, Jan Bozier with you. And people ask me what I miss, and I've now lived more of my life in central Indiana than southern Indiana. I say, looking up at the stars every night.
It's gorgeous down here.
That part I miss from being down here.
It is gorgeous around here.
Handoff goes to Brody Isaac. And frankly, Jen, I think that's a carry. We were saying, hey, we're going for it on 4th down. You just picked up half of what you need. Now it's 4th and 2. Isaac unofficially. 13 carries for 52 yards so far. And Princeton only has 1 timeout remaining.
You know, Greg, the question for me right now, they'd love to run that from the shotgun, that read ISO, but the problem with that, especially when you're 4th and about 3, it's a longer developing play. I'd like to see maybe something just a little bit quicker. Let's see what they do.
And Washington, what they're doing here is trying to make sure that Princeton has as little time as possible if Washington doesn't convert the 4th down. So Coach Morris is letting this one go all the way down before he takes his second timeout of the half. Go ahead and keep it right here. So, all right, Coach, your play call on 4th and 2 is? How do you change it now that you got that timeout? What are you looking for?
Interesting what he's thinking here. I think he just at the end of the day, he wants points. So get something at a minimum close for a field goal attempt here, something that is doable.
Joe now in his 6th season as the man in charge of this Washington program. And his story is unique. Again, he is not a teacher here. He is with the Davies County Chamber of Commerce, with the Business Development Office here in Davies County. Joe played football at the University of Indianapolis. Is from Washington. And, you know, after his kids had started to grow and leave the nest, his dream was to come back home and try to build this football program.
And you admired him, but you know, the thing you left out there, where was the foundation of his youth raised?
Right here.
A little bit farther back. He has a little bit of Miller blood in him.
That he does. So 4th down and 2. He was a Noblesville resident for a long time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I just had to get that in there.
Which is where Jan is from, if you could not tell. Just simple handoff to Isa. And Isa, 1st down and more. Keeps the legs turning. Needed 2 and picks up about 7 yards. And again, now Hats have to go on the quick, because they have 1 timeout and 40-plus seconds left to go. And ball is spiked. And Washington is saying, hey, Princeton had an extra man on the field. Let's see if a flag gets thrown in here late, because Princeton had a defensive lineman that was sprinting off the field.
I think that.
And I think they're kind of doing a head count right now. I think they're going to say instead of even, I think they're going to say even before
Princeton called
the ball was spiked, they're going to give Princeton a timeout, which then avoids the penalty. So Princeton now has burned their final timeout of the half. Washington having 1 more. Washington has Gibson Southern coming up next week. And for our audience that might be used to us broadcasting games in central Indiana, around Lafayette, these 2 schools a member of the Pocket Athletic Conference, which has 13 teams in the league. They split into a big school and a small school division. These 2 schools are both in the big school division. Washington in 4A, Princeton in 3A. Washington's enrollment, the last check, about 810. Princeton right at 600. But again, the schools that catch your attention immediately in that big school division, the defending 3A champs at Heritage Hills, and we're not that far removed from Gibson Southern being a 3A champ as well.
Right. Well, Princeton knows all about Heritage Hills last week, a loss, and Washington will travel to Heritage Hills. So that's why this game for me is so important for Washington. It's a game that they clearly have a shot to win next week. Not that they can't win, but you're playing one of the better teams for sure.
Yeah, I said Gibson Southern. It's Heritage Hills. Gibson Southern's a couple of weeks away.
Yeah, Heritage Hills, then Boonville, then Gibson Southern. Listen, Boonville 2-1, Gibson Southern 2-1, Mount Vernon 2-1. Then they end up with Pike Central, at least for right now, is 0-3. So They clearly have their work. That's why they need to get this momentum on this game tonight.
Well, after completing the first pass of the game, Washington has completed one since. That was off the hands of the intended target. That was Emick. Has 4 catches on the season. Again, you're in what has been field goal range, but you'd like at least a little bit more.
Well, he's had a few drop. That was a catchable ball. I mean, they've got to start catching those. They're not helping their cause here by not hanging on to these. They don't pass a lot, but there's been a few times tonight those would have sure came in handy had they not dropped them.
Cooper 1 of 5 tonight throwing the football. Princeton brings 4. Right, slings it.
There
Catch
you go.
made Turner, and Turner hurdles
How about
a man.
that?
Just as important to get out of bounds. Now, did he get the first down? I think he did, yes. For the 17-yard line, 11-yard pickup, first down Washington.
Turner's a little bit of a problem. He's 6'4", good length, good speed. I like to see him get a few more catches in his hands. I think he can do some good things if they can find him a little more.
Yeah, Turner's a kid that does a little bit of everything. And they don't have a full, guys that are kind of two-way starters, but guys that play a lot both ways, trying to rest him some snaps. So he's listed as a backup at 2 receiver positions and cornerback positions, but plays starters minutes. So ball at the 17-yard line. Again, you got 1 timeout remaining. Princeton brings pressure. Right. Will tuck it and run. No, he'll throw. End zone. Touchdown.
Got it.
Xavion LaShore with the touchdown grab. Catches an extra point away from tying it up.
Listen, patience of virtue right here. He doesn't get pressured enough to cause him to panic. Stays in the pocket. Throws a really nice ball. Really good route. What I like about the route is he stays with it and reads right into the ball where it was passed.
Again, LaShore is a difference maker. And as they try to figure out exactly what his role is going to be, the more of him on the field is a good thing for the Hatchets.
Couldn't agree more. I just think he can help this ball club out in a lot of different ways, so you got to find ways to use him.
A 17-yard reception for Wright. That is his second touchdown toss of the season. It's time to ring the bell. 14-all, we're tied.
How big is that for the Hatches? I mean, they really worked the clock beautifully, got the ball moved, really felt like they had to get something going into the halftime. Points are important, but I thought momentum may be just as important. Get this thing tied up.
This Princeton team back at home to take on Mount Vernon next week. It was technically a non-conference game for them against North Knox. Princeton trying to get to 3-1 for the first time in 7 years. Half of football left to go. Browning on to boot this ball away. Goes more of the short kick, the pooch kick. Cox will drop back to field this one. And eventually he'll step out of bounds. Pressured that direction by Cohen Walls.
Now, no mistakes. No mistakes if you're Washington right now. Everybody's got to know their assignment. You got to talk. Right now is when defenses are at their best, when they're communicating, because you cannot afford to make a mistake here and allow something big out of Princeton.
You would think that maybe you give Pope one more crack at this before you go to halftime.
Wouldn't you? I would.
Has his 7th touchdown of the season tonight.
You get him on a one-on-one, I like his chances because he's that good and that powerful.
Trey Cox has the other touchdown tonight.
He's not a mystery now. We all know what he can do, and so does this defense.
Toss play goes right side. Turner. Flag comes out. Turner, good-looking tackle.
Well played.
But again, this has all the earmarks of a hold. There'll at least be one more snap here.
Listen, Turner wraps this time, and that's what you got to do with a runner like this. Watch his tackle. Great pursuit angle. Now watch him wrap. If you're going to bring a runner down like this, you have got to wrap. You're not just going to hit him and make him go down. But when you go after him hard and strong and wrap, your chances are much better. I like that tackle.
And Washington will take the penalty here. So 1st and 20.
It's been a good game. Some mistakes. Both teams trying to get better, but I like they've never stopped playing hard. That's what I like.
Handoff goes to Pope. And Pope will be taken down inbounds, which means that this half will come to an end. He'll pick up 9 yards, but that is that. And nothing has been settled after 24 minutes of action. Washington 14, Princeton 14. Stay tuned. Halftime comes right next as you're watching Washington Hatchet football on the ISC Sports Network.
Washington Community Schools, in partnership with Indiana University, is launching a kindergarten dual language immersion program in the fall of 2023, with plans to expand to other elementary grade levels. Dual immersion education integrates an equal number of native English-speaking and native Spanish-speaking students in the same classroom. Students develop oral and cognitive academic language in both English and Spanish while mastering grade-level knowledge and skills in all content areas. Dual immersion education is impactful because students become more empathetic to different perspectives, learn about other cultures, and are better prepared for a diverse workplace. Our dual language immersion classrooms are based on a 50-50 model in which 50% of the instruction is delivered in English and the other 50% is delivered in Spanish each day. This program will fit perfectly with our already diverse student population. At all grade levels, our English language learner students receive daily language instruction to supplement what they've been learning in the classroom. These students come with languages other than English, which gives our schools the opportunity to learn from other cultures and ethnicities up close and personal.
Again, you see the homecoming festivities, the band, the floats. We already had the homecoming queen was crowned well before tonight's game. This is truly a community celebration night here in Daviess County. Greg Rakestraw, Jan Bozier. Jan back in a matter of moments, but one thing that we have done over the course of now our 3rd year of being here for this game on the ISC Sports Network, trying to make this a showcase for Daviess County, but also for Washington Community Schools. Joining us to talk about that, he is the principal at Washington High School. It is Brian Holland. Brian, it's good to see you again, and thanks for having us out tonight.
Hey, appreciate you guys coming on a beautiful football night.
Absolutely, and first of all, that's tremendously creative on the float, by the way. Hatchet Hollow Days, very nicely done by the group that put that float together. Obviously, from an athletic standpoint, you guys are known for the Hatchet House, and we'll get to that in a matter of moments. But now the 3rd year of having this facility, what has this meant to the football program, but more importantly, the community at large?
Well, just the visual of it is amazing. If you've noticed what it used to look like prior to the reconstruction process that happened 3 years ago, this has really been a community involvement. We've incorporated a lot of activities. Communities, our youth football, we actually have flag football in here as well. That's happened in the community. Believe it or not, we have a lot of recess time out here for the young kids. Whenever they can't go out on the playground, they'll come out to the field and play. If we ever had to use this, it's equipped to host soccer, so we can do soccer on this as well. So we're just thrilled to death to have it. It's a phenomenal facility. It's beautiful at night, and we're just happy to have it.
This is typically kind of talked about from a college standpoint, more even than from a high school standpoint. I think it's very apropos. Athletics are often the front porch, to kind of the building. My guess is that is absolutely the case here at Washington High School.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. You can tell by the turnout of our crowd this evening. This whole week with homecoming, it's just been filled with a lot of activities. Everybody's participating, and it's a different feel on homecoming week.
You hope to create good citizens and creative thinkers The creative thinker part's on display. These floats that are going by are absolutely phenomenal. All right, so, we could talk about the academics here, frankly, for days. Through my good friend Nikki Sparks, I've had a chance to kind of tour the school and be a part of some of the events you guys have had outside of athletics here at Washington. But one of the things I remember, the last time I was here to kind of speak to students here, I saw your first Indiana robotics team getting ready to head to the state championship. So I'll ask about that program. How's the robotics program coming along here? It
has been phenomenal. We have grown to the point to where now we actually have it as a class. Awesome. So kids take it as a class. Our participation numbers run anywhere between 50 to 60 students. We're fortunate we have the Hatchet House, and because we have such a large venue, we're able to host a regional competition, and we get a lot of participation in it, and it's just a phenomenal process for our community. We have a lot of kids that are involved in robotics from not only the high school level, but the junior high and elementaries as well, and very well received.
That's wonderful to hear. All right, so much attention early in the year is going to go to homecoming week. You make it a spirit week. Clearly, everybody gets involved. What's kind of the next big thing on the Washington High School calendar now that we're past homecoming?
Well, we're looking at the mid to late season fall sports, and we've got some success things that are happening in fall. We're super excited about it. We got fall break coming up, and we come back from it, we're right into the heart of basketball season. And what's exciting, we got a new coach. Bo Burkhardt has taken over the basketball program that's been ran by Coach Miller for many years, and he kept us in a great direction, and the vision of our new coach is going to be very exciting to watch.
By the way, that former coach as of tonight now a Sagamore of the Wabash that was bestowed here at Hatchet Hollow, which
rightly
was
deserved.
Wonderful to see. Brian, I know you're busy. We'll let you get to it. Thank you so much for being so, because again, this school is used to hosting athletic events from a state tournament standpoint. I was telling some of the guys, I started coming here to the Hatchet House when my high school fed into the regional here back in the early 90s. So again, this has always been kind of the entry point for somebody around the state to come to athletic events here. But primarily it's been done through basketball. Now the folks in Washington can say that about football too. Brian, thank you so much.
Super excited. Thanks for coming. We're glad to have you, and what a beautiful night for football.
Amazing.
And
Brian
go
Howard,
Hatchets.
You got it. Principal of Washington High School. Take this quick timeout. Jan Bozer rejoins. Tied at 14 in the break. You're watching on ISC.
At Washington Community Schools, we are dedicated to helping all students find their path to future success. We engage students in activities that positively impact all aspects of their future, encouraging students to time travel to their future destinations such as home and family, hobbies and recreation, community and service, and education and career. Our K-6 students start thinking about their future through our Kids at Hope program. Students frequently engage with successful adults through our local community partnerships, authentic audiences, and guest speakers. At Washington Junior High School, our students have early exposure to post-secondary readiness through our career class. To build on these experiences, Washington High School offers a wide variety of academic opportunities that challenge and support students. Washington High School is a recognized early college through SEL, meaning our students can get a jump start on their college education by earning college credits from Vincennes University at a fraction of the cost. Students also explore career interests and earn both a high school diploma and an Indiana College Core certificate, which allows students to transfer into college as a sophomore, saving money, saving time, and expanding opportunities. Washington High School students may also engage in internships, other coursework inside of our 15 career clusters, advanced placement courses, and CTE courses at Twin Rivers. Washington Community Schools has opportunities for all students to succeed.
Back at Hatchet Hollow, Jan Bozer rejoins Greg Rakestraw. Washington 14, Princeton 14. Again, Jan, the last years we've been here, it's been rather lopsided in favor of the home team. We did not think that would be the case this evening, and a ball game is exactly what we got.
Yeah, I think so. I think Washington has played well. The mistakes, I thought, early on the kicking game kind of just stymied some things. But I like the fact they really got back in this thing, got it tied up, and now we still got a great ball game ahead of us.
And, again, there's things that both coaches like and things that both coaches want to fix. For Washington, they have moved the ball every drive. They've only finished a couple, and they had a penalty that called back what would have been a 96-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. For Princeton, they haven't moved it consistently, but they've made 2 big plays in the running game that have gotten them to the house. Other thing, though, that catches your attention about Princeton, Jan, 7 penalties in the first half.
Yeah, that kind of just hurt their chances, too. Listen, I've been more than impressed with Pope, number 1. Averages 164 yards a game coming in. Listen, you get him one-on-one, he's tough to bring down. He showed us if you don't contain him, he's a problem.
Jan, what's going to be the difference, you think, in half number 2?
Well, still, defenses are a work in progress. Washington cannot give up the big plays. They had 3 good plays, then it kind of gets stymied a little bit. They've got to put a whole half together. Talked about game 4. Now is the time to put a full half together. If you're Washington, you can do that. You can get a victory here.
Princeton trying to get to 3-1. The Hatchets trying to make it back-to-back wins to get to 500 of starting 0-2. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back with our first half highlights and first half stats. From Hatchet Hollow, it is Washington 14 and Princeton 14. And you're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
Washington Community Schools understands that STEM education builds in-demand knowledge and skills that help prepare students for life outside the classroom. Our students have STEM opportunities from kindergarten until graduation. Students at the elementary level have dedicated STEM labs and kits with access to coding programs, dash robotics, microbits, and more. Washington Junior High and Washington High School have a strong partnership with Project Lead the Way. Both buildings are PLTW distinguished schools and continue to provide students with rigorous and meaningful opportunities to connect STEM principles to real-world experiences. Washington Junior High gives students access to our innovation lab with tools like a Glowforge laser printer, 3D printers, and a robotics arm. High school students are offered computer science, engineering, and biomedical science PLTW pathways. Furthermore, Washington High School also demonstrates our dedication to STEM learning by being an Indiana Department of Education STEM certified school. Our dedication to STEM learning, vast community partnerships, and opportunities for STEM students set Washington Community Schools apart.
Highlights about to roll by for half number 1. Let's kind of give you some stats as you see these plays fly by. Wright with 44 yards passing and a touchdown for Washington. Catches for Clark, Turner, and LaShore. LaShore the touchdown grab at the end of the half. IHSAA, 14 carries, 60 yards. In total, 4 different ball carriers carried the football for 96 yards for the Hatchets. A total of 140 yards of offense for Washington. For Princeton, 31 yards passing, and it's not what they do. You saw the touchdown carry by Pope. Unofficially 7 carries, 68 yards. That touchdown was for 37. Cox had the touchdown for 53 yards. Again, unofficially, in terms of passing and rushing, 138-yard total of offense. So as even as the scoreboard is, Jan, by my total, the total yards difference is 2 between these two teams.
First of all, your math is always spot on. Second of all, that's it. The scoreboard kind of says the same story, but look at those highlights. The dynamic duo of Pope and Cox for Princeton, that's impressive. Both of them are really good runners, and so Washington has really got to keep their eyes on this running game.
Both teams with a key turnover as well. For Washington, gave Princeton a short field. Obviously, for Princeton, their turnover gave Washington the ball at the 2-yard line. They would cash in some 2 plays later. So as you can see on the scoreboard and on the stat sheet, there is absolutely nothing that separates these two teams at the break. We'll take this quick timeout. Third quarter action is not too far away. From Hatchet Hollow, you're watching Washington High School football right here on the ISC Sports Network.
I was a little girl, I always knew that Davies County was home.
We grew up in East Germany. When the wall came down, we took our chances for travel. We moved to the United States. The first 5 years went so fast.
And after 10 years, it is 30 years by now, and we are still here, and Davies County is home.
The two things that make companies successful is money and talent. And if you never run out of talent, you'll never run out of money. So it never dawned on me to set up our company anywhere different than Davies County, Indiana.
I started playing music at a young age, and I've traveled around the country, but I moved to Montgomery in 2015, and the more of the world that we get to see and the more opportunities that open up for us, there's really still just no place like coming home.
So at Artisan Electronics, we support the Navy all across the world from our location here in Davies County at the Westgate at Crane Technology Park. And just as important to our location are the people that we employ to support the warfighter. We find the people here in Central Indiana be top-notch quality of talent.
It's just a strong community.
For the last 182 years, Davies County has been home for our families. And to see my children raise their children on the property here, it really makes the guy feel good.
Up in Indianapolis, I found myself working. Down here, there's more of a work-family balance. I think that was the biggest draw, is that I could still practice my orthopedics at a very high level. However, I still was able to coach my kids, get the ball game, be involved in all activities.
It was very important for us that no matter what our children do, what they become, where they go to college, that they get every opportunity that we can give them, and I knew that they would get that at Davies County from preschool to 12th grade.
If you can find a place like Washington, a place that's this close, that you have people that support you and you support them, and you can make a difference to people, you know, that's what I love about coming back home and being here, and that's why I always want to stay.
So now when people ask, why Davies County, it's all because of the people.
We are.
We are. We are.
We are.
Davies.
Davis.
Davis.
Davies.
Davies. Davies.
Davies County.
Moments away from the start of quarter number 3. Greg Rakestraw, Jan Bozier. One more time, thanks to our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew. Thanks to John Klotz, Eldon Wheeler, Dominic Williams on cameras tonight. David Kahn, Vince Morales, and Dalton Cox in the production van that is located not too far, but a rock quarry away, right behind us here at Hatchet Hollow. Again, this is one of 4 games taking place in the ISC Sports Network family of affiliates. Brownsburg and Avon is our featured television game in Indianapolis. That is number 1 versus number 9 in the state at 6A. Brownsburg leading 34-24, Jan, early in the third quarter.
Well, I tell you, Avon has certainly showed that they are much improved this year and given some really top 10 ball clubs everything they can handle and then some.
If you not believe my statement about the location of the van, there
they are.
Right behind us. Elsewhere, Lawrence North leading North Central 49-14. After North Central beat Rebuff in the season opener, competitive with HSC, and week number 2 they have struggled since McPlay has started. They are clocked for a second consecutive game as the Panthers will fall to 1-3. Other game on ISC currently, again, it's rather lopsided as well. One of the better teams every year in 1A is the Carroll Cougars, and they are leading Delphi, and love this name, the Bacon Bowl, 45-0 into the fourth quarter.
You could not have a better bowl than the Bacon Bowl. I've had Carroll through the years multiple times, and let me tell you something. They love their football, Carroll. They really do a good job of supporting their football program.
The other, obviously, story that you and I did talk about because we spend so much time in this league, not tonight, obviously, but big news in high school football and all of high school sports in Central Indiana. The MIC will be back to 8 teams as of next year.
Big news.
If you're from North Central, Lawrence North, LC, Pike, Ben Davis, or Warren, you would say the prodigal sons have returned. We would simply say it's good to have everybody back in the family. Carmel and Center Grove back in the MIC as of next year.
I think it's healthy. I think that Center Grove and Carmel both certainly succeeded being independent. But, man, you sure miss the rivalries. You miss all that kind of stuff. And the fact now that they've all kind of hugged and say, hey, let's put this all back together. I think it's good for high school football.
In talking with some folks, again, it may not be a full football schedule next year, just kind of working out contracts and things like that. I think in every other sport, be back together as of next year. Football may be fall of 27. But Carmel, Center Grove, the MIC, all back together again. That's a good thing for everybody involved. Well, both teams are back on their sidelines and getting ready to go here for quarter number 3. And Wash had the football to start this contest, which means we'll see Princeton get it. And again, I think for Washington defensively, it's just simply a matter of can you limit the big playability of this Princeton running attack?
Yeah, and we talked about both Cox and Pope, really a 1-2 punch, and that front line is big, strong, kind of self-destructed a couple times, or they really would have had a lot of yardage in the rushing game in that first half, but you're going to have to contain them. I don't necessarily think you stop them, but you have to contain them. And the biggest piece is the big play. Big play cannot happen for Washington tonight on the second half.
Last 2 years we have been here. 23, it was a big win for the Hatchets against Pike Central. That is their rival to the south. They will play them in week number 9 this year. We were here in week 3 a season ago and saw the Hatchets dispose of North Knox with relative ease. That game no longer on the schedule for Joe Morris and company. Remaining schedule for the Hatchets again at Heritage Hills, at Boonville, home to Gibson Southern, home to Mount Vernon, and at Pike Central to wrap up the regular season.
I think I told you there at halftime, I forget who they were playing, but Heritage Hills, the real deal. They were up 30-plus at halftime. I forget who they were playing.
Southridge.
Southridge, there you go. They are the real deal. They're going to be the ones to beat, and maybe the ones to beat in the whole state.
Well, I was going to say, I can tell you right now, barring something of the miraculous, Heritage Hills and Star going to see each other in the 4A semi-state.
Yeah, I agree with you. They are that good again.
Start playing Cathedral tonight in Indianapolis. In fact, at the Selleck Bowl at Butler. So Browning on to kick this ball away. Goes with the shorter kick. That'll be fielded at the 25-yard line. Vaults a stumble, and they say that his knee went down. Yes.
Not sure about
that. His knee touched at the 26-yard line.
Wow, if it did, it was quicker than.
And this is bizarre to see so many guys slip tonight.
Oh, I don't think he did.
Yeah, that might have been a bit of premature whistle.
Yeah, that's all right. You're allowed to do that.
Once the whistle is blown, play's over.
I'm just happy the fact what I continue to see is what I think is the.
Yeah, your eye doctor did his job.
He did.
Job well done.
He's going to want more money.
So ball spot at the 27-yard line.
Kind of the big play from the perspective, kind of held them back a little bit on field position.
Belote will keep. Simple student body left. Able to get the edge and solid gain on first down. He'll step out of bounds. Past the 30-yard line, they'll give him 5, 2nd and 5.
Well, let's see what adjustments both teams make specifically on offense. Princeton trying to spread the field a little bit. Clearly their bread and butter is right up the middle. But they're just trying to keep this Washington Hatchet defense honest by getting some room around the edge.
Full house backfield here for Princeton. And quarterback rolls right side looking to pass. Ball comes free. Quarterback does not. Ball popped out again.
Dangerous.
And it's still being contested. That's a live football. That thing was never secured. Hatchets have it at the 26-yard line.
Well, unfortunately, we've seen another player slip, and I think that's somewhat the cause of this ball going a little bit. See right there where he couldn't plant his feet? Then he lost control of the football.
Well, he tried to, well.
I don't know if he tried, but he did. Regardless of his intention or not, that's a big play.
Clearly, he passed the ball forward. Probably should have been an incomplete pass. Hatchets, though, get a.
Sometimes you need a break.
You get a break.
Sometimes. And the key is, can you take advantage? I'm with you. I'd like to take another look at that, see if it clearly was a forward pass. It doesn't matter at this point. It's not what they called.
Yep, it is being considered to be a fumble. So Washington will get their second turnover. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Doesn't matter how things happen. Sometimes you take advantages of breaks because sometimes they go against you. So when it's your turn, you take advantage of them.
First touchdown was off a turnover. Let's see if Washington can cash in again.
Oh, Washington moving all over the place.
Just their third penalty, but the first two penalties
Let's
were
see
both.
the arm, Greg. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a fumble.
That's
then
a fumble.
recovered. And again, this is a pass trying to avoid a sack.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I did not see that the first time around.
Again, because now again, it's a five-man crew.
Got it. And
moving and trying to see
it's
it.
hard to see. You can't call what
we have the benefit of seeing it.
You can't call what you did. But I clearly didn't see the first time. But his arm clearly was
and
forward.
I didn't see it the first time either. Isaac on the handoff. So Isaac will pick up 4. Again, Isaac now his 15th carry of the night. And it's not been the big play, but it's been solid gains every time he's touched the ball.
Well, you talk about opportunity to take care of business here. Right here is a huge, huge break for Washington. Ball exactly where they want it. Can you cash in on this opportunity? That's what Coach Morris is looking for in this ball club.
Motion Turner across the formation. Quarterback keep with an extra blocker. Trying to get the edge.
Just go down. Just go down.
He'll pick up 3.
Yeah, he doesn't need to take extra hits. He's going to have plenty for the year's over. Once you get what you can get in your position, just go down.
So it's third down. Need to get the football to his 17-yard line. So after the penalty, it sets up third down and 7.
It's tough down.
And again, you attempted a field goal from this distance earlier and missed. Fake the handoff, looking in the flat. Catch made by Clark, but
well defended.
There was someone waiting for him, and that someone was Drake Cox. Loss of 1, fourth down. And
boy, the senior makes a really tough play out in the flats. Well called on your part, Greg. He was ready for that. That's a difficult one-on-one tackle to make, and he made it look pretty easy. Cox on the tackle.
Browning missed from 43 earlier. He will get another look from the exact same spot at the exact same set of goalposts. Again, no wind whatsoever. He kind of rushed the operation last time and pulled it wide left. Looks a lot cleaner this time. Clearly has the leg and splits the uprights.
There you go.
Third made field goal of the season. Gives the Hatchets a 3-point lead. We'll step aside. Back in a moment. You're watching Washington football on the IHSAA Sports Network. So in this seesaw affair, Washington jumps back in front. Browning connects from 43 yards. And it's 17-14 Hatchets, early third quarter. Again, the shorter kick, the pooch kick, fielded about the 25-yard line. Again, this is Volts. He'll keep his feet and tripped up at the 38-39-yard line. And honestly, for Princeton now, it's just kind of about avoiding that mistake, seemingly, Jan.
No, well said. And I think if you're Washington now, your team is scratched and clawed and got back and taken this lead. You have a lot to play for. You have a extra little bit of emphasis here to play inspired defense. Really make some plays here.
Mention the fact that these two teams have alternated wins the last 6 years. Well, before that streak, Princeton had won 8 consecutive times against their conference rival, 2012 to 2019. Handoff goes to Pope, and Pope in the backfield. Breaks free on the cutback.
This is
Now
dangerous.
has room the other direction.
I'm telling you.
Pope heads to the house. 20, 10, 5, touchdown. No flags. One play. 62 yards. Princeton back in front.
How often do you see this, Greg, when you got the problem you got is now all the defense is pursued to the right. And if you don't make this tackle, all your help is already on their right side of the field. You don't bring him down, it doesn't get help here. And see, now here comes all the defense. They've way overcommitted, and now it's a little too late.
The touchdown runs for Princeton tonight. 53, 37, and 62 yards.
I'm just impressed with this guy. Backs that make you pay for missing are an extra special type running back.
Pope now with 8 touchdown runs on the season, and the extra point try is up and good. Again, we'll step aside. Princeton reclaims the lead. It is our 4th lead change of the game as you're watching on ISC. And we remind you to discover downtown Washington. Visit historic downtown Washington. Enjoy the Davies County Historic Museum. Saturday Farmers Market and first Fridays at the Washington Commons. Shop, dine, explore, discover downtown Washington.
Boy, tough break for Washington. They had him. They had a hand on him, but they weren't able to. That's not a guy you're going to hand tackle. It's just not. And how often do you see that when all the defense comes and can't react quick enough after he gets back around the other side?
That is a live football picked up by the Hatchets. Back at the 5 and slip sliding away.
I guess so.
And again, it's both teams, and it's bizarre to see that.
Very bizarre because it's not humid out.
But you almost wonder if the temperature change has something to do with it.
Well, clearly something is.
But you're right, it's not humid. It's just a little warmer
a lot of times
tonight.
humidity, obviously moisture of any time, but
we're getting into scary territory when you and I go from sports to meteorology, so I understand this, but
you're more qualified in meteorology than I am.
This is bizarre. And again, if it was a brand new field, you go, okay, I kind of it's their 3rd year.
Yeah, interesting.
Might be a game for plotters the rest of the way. 1st and 10. Handoff goes to Clark. And he'll pick up 2 or 3 yards. And Jan, I'm not so sure that kind of Washington playing the ground and pound game, that might be their best defense right now.
I said that in the keys of the game. Their offense has got to help their defense by just staying on the field is a great defensive motivator for this team. They they've had some long drives, ate a lot of clock up, but now after it leading, now they trail by 4, 21-17, so they got to find the end zone again.
2nd and long. Again, Clark this time goes right side and again finds another solid gain. And you'll take that every time you snap it. 5-yard pickup, and it sets up 3rd down and 3.
You know, neither one of these teams, quite honestly, have had trouble scoring. Princeton averaging 30, and Washington averaged just under that. So they through the season have found the end zone. But they've got to find ways to stop people.
Well, the Hatchets have upped their offensive output every game. Just 10 against North Davies, 33 in a loss to Southridge, and then again 41 in the win against the Forest Park Rangers last Friday night. Need to get the nose of the football to the 21-yard line. Fake the handoff, little RPO action. Get the ball to Eyes in space. Isa makes a couple of tacklers miss. Has a 1st down. Lost the football, but was out of bounds when he did. at the 31-yard line. Pick up a 13 yards, number 13, first down, Hatchets.
You know, I like this. I mean, it equates to a long running play, but I think you have to sprinkle some of this in, Greg. You've got to keep defenses honest or they're just going to clog up the box.
Let's also acknowledge now Cooper Wright has completed his last 4 passes dating back to the last half. Isaac, a little gimpy at the end of that play, so he'll come off after the snap.
Well, in fairness to him, he's had at least a minimum of 2 or 3 that were dropped.
For Isaac, that's his first catch. Had 5 on the season coming in. 15 carries for 64 yards. First and 10. Quarterback, Keep. Just does a good job of letting his blockers do the job.
That's going to be a flag.
Well, Kunkel got him on top of the helmet. I'm not sure he ever officially grabbed the face mask.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He takes a hand to the helmet. While it wasn't malicious, you can't tackle by the helmet. And clearly both hands were up on the helmet. I think this is the right call. You cannot use your hands to take the helmet to tackle.
Don't get it. So 4-yard pickup before then a potential flag. Jan, take a look.
Yeah, take a look. What you cannot do, you put your hand on the helmet, but you can't use the helmet as a tackling device. And while he certainly doesn't mean to, see where his hands are?
Underneath,
and then he pushes down. That's clearly the right call.
But it'll be of the 5-yard variety.
That's a safety deal. It was not malicious. Listen, I get it. I would remember being the tackler. You reach for and get whatever you can get. Sometimes it's the wrong thing. In this case, that's what happened.
Just a yard to go to pick up another first down. Hand off Clark. He'll get there. Not much in it. He'll pick up 2, maybe 3. But again, that'll move the change. First down, Hatchets.
Well, now the point, obviously you want to keep these drives going, but now we're longer into the game. Defenses will start to get a little more tired in the second half, Greg. So once again, the more Washington can stay on the field, keep these drives, you're wearing out this defense a little more because the game is a little bit older here. They want to keep Princeton on the field defensively.
Play clock at 10. Handoff goes to Chestnut. And Chestnut kind of broke through one tackle. But grabbed after a 4-yard pickup. But a lengthy drive is just what the doctor ordered.
I think Washington's numbers offensively are really starting to calculate up. I mean, they've had some decent drives. This offense has certainly moved the ball. They're going to have some, I think, decent yardage, but that's not going to matter if you don't win the thing.
So second down and 6. 33 rushing plays, 9 passes so far. The run-pass breakdown for the Hatchets. Play clock at 5. Isa, direct snap.
He's got some room, Greg.
Off left tackle. First down and slipped out of bounds at the 40. But again, that's going to come back.
Yeah.
Yep, they're going to get Shore on the hold on the block.
I think he was fine initially, but I think then he extends his body, and that's going to cost him. There it is. I think he was okay the first go-around, but then he just kept and just kind of pressured him down to the ground. Take a look here. You're going to see this block coming in. I think initially it's okay. It's still okay. Then there's the extra. You got to just back off. While it's not a lot, it's enough to get the attention of officials standing right in front of you.
And again, we get to show that at about a half speed or a third speed.
That's true.
Our official on the sideline does not have that luxury.
But a lot of time officiating is about, well, how's it look? And,
right.
And they have.
And when the player goes to the ground on the block,
you're just not going to get the benefit of the doubt. While it wasn't malicious or anything huge, it looked like the right call,
Clark.
even if it wasn't.
And now another flag comes down. And again, I think that might be of the face mask variety. That's a gain of 3 for Clark. And we'll see what is tacked onto that. It will be a face mask. And that should be enough, even if it's the 5-yard penalty for a first down. And that's exactly what it'll be.
Yep. Yeah, right there it is. That's a great call, boy. That's hard to see. Once again, you're just reaching and grabbing, but clearly the head was on the face mask.
The only thing that changes that is when the person that gives the face mask is 6'5" and 340. Makes it a little easier for everybody to see. because you're not breaking free from that.
No, you're probably not. That's tough. That's tough, man. I get that.
Handoff goes to IHSAA. And IHSAA, I don't think he got the first down on the previous. I think it was just an inch or two short. That moves the chains. That's good for a first down. So IHSAA will pick up 3 more yards. But most importantly for the Hatchets, they are taking time off the clock. 5.5 minutes rolling here in quarter number 3. Trailing at 21-17.
Boy, how big could this be, Greg? If you eat this whole third quarter up and can get it in the end zone, how big would that be?
Let's make it down to who has the ball last in tonight's game.
I think you're right.
Play clock in single digits. Hatchets looking for the deep ball. Looking for LaShore, and that'll be a flag. 15 yards and a free first down for Washington. And that's going to be now a 10th penalty, totaling 70 yards against the Tigers.
There you see Brown trying to plead his case. Not going to matter. I think they're both tugging a little bit, but I think what happens here at the end, that perhaps Brown's feet get involved and tangled up and trips him a little bit. Boy, that's a tough one.
That left arm, Jan.
Yep.
When you have that left arm extended and you kind of hold up the player, especially in space, you're going to get called for that most every time.
I agree.
Michael Brown pleading his case. Cornerback that had the unenviable task of trying to slow down Xavion LaShore.
You can always see in football who's going to be the salespeople and who's going to be the attorneys, you know.
So ball at the 29-yard line on the jet sweep. It's Turner.
I like it.
Turner stiff arms one man, but couldn't break free from tackler 3 and 4. Drake Cox over to make the play.
Boy, Cox plays both ways, doesn't he? Makes a really good tackle there for the Tigers.
Well, that a gain of 2, second down. And again, you're in field goal range, but you are trying to reclaim the lead if you're the Hatchets.
Washington missed the seal block around the edge that time, or that had potential to go a little bit farther than it did. Holy moly, 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in this quarter. Flying.
On the handoff. Chestnut.
Whoa. There's a stick.
And one of the things that, and it shows you kind of the growth of this Washington program, there have been 5 different ball carriers for Washington tonight. In other words, you don't have to rely on the same guy. You've got enough depth where you can kind of give that ball to different guys if you coach Morris.
You can keep fresh legs. I completely agree with you. You keep fresh legs. And look how long Princeton's defense has been on the field. And if you put fresh legs at them, that's just a little more.
The numbers game factors in. That's pro-Washington in this game.
Completely agree.
So 3rd and medium coming up here for the Hatchets. It's Clark. Clark up the middle. Going to be awfully close. Think he's got it. Marsh amongst those to help make the play, but crosses the 20-yard line.
Well, let me tell you what Princeton's doing here and what Washington's countering. Princeton's throwing some blitz packages at him, but because Washington is getting by that first layer, the blitz, quite honestly, has not been real effective for Princeton.
Chain gang is going to be called into effect again. And, you know, I'm lucky enough, Jan, I get to call NFL football games in the preseason and work for the Indianapolis Colts. I don't see the chain gang anymore. We get the virtual measurement graphic. It's good to see the chain gang getting their steps in.
You miss them, don't you?
I do.
It's old time. It's old school football.
First down. Clark needed 5 and got exactly that. So 1st and goal, Hatchets inside of the red zone. And now the Princeton 19-yard line.
And you can start to see Princeton's defense is getting just a little bit gassed. They have absolutely lived out here. Washington has an opportunity to perhaps take advantage of a little bit winded defense right here.
Fake to IHSAA. In the flat and intercepted.
Oh, no.
And this could be a house call.
Oh, no.
Taking it back is Michael Brown. He will not be touched. No flags on the play. 81 yards. Touchdown, Tigers.
Wow. Of all the things that you did not want to happen, out of 100 things, that was number 100.
And now, for the first time tonight, a 2-score lead. Play was broken up by Jacob Martin, and Brown was Johnny on the spot. And he had an escort from Pope all the way down the sideline.
2 interceptions tonight. The tip one usually never goes well for the offense. It just doesn't. Not very often.
Right, that is the 4th pick he has thrown this season. Now a chance to make it an 11-point lead late in the third quarter. And now all that good work you did to take time off the clock just came back to bite you.
Boy, in epic proportions. They're literally knocking on the door to score.
And the extra point try from Wilhite is good. Tigers looking to make it back-to-back wins against the Hatchets for the first time since 2019. They lead it by 11 on ISC. Well, something our crew has done is discover Daviess County arts and culture, historic landmarks, museums, recreation, Amish experiences, dining, shopping, entertainment, and more. All available to you when you visit Daviess County. Log on to find out more at visitdaviesscounty.com.
Well, you find out what you're made out of. I mean, everything going Washington's way, and all of a sudden it reverses in a bad way. You still got tons of time here, though. You've just got to figure it out and find a way to claw yourself back. They did it once. Can they do it again?
Kick fielded, 10-yard line. And kick returns have been good if they can avoid penalties for Washington. They do that here. Look at forward progress to just shy of the 40-yard line and no flags on the field. And Jan, allow me to repeat myself. Here are the yardage on touchdown plays for Princeton tonight. Rushes of 37, 53, and 62. And an interception return for 81 yards.
Big plays. Clearly been the difference maker for Princeton in this one.
So ball at the 38-yard line. And again, I think you can't alter your tempo yet if you're Washington. You just have to, again, avoid making the mistake.
Yeah, no question. No question. It's go time. Got to figure it out. It's part of football.
On the handoff, it's Clark. And Clark will pick up 4 yards. And again, that's been there almost all night, Jan.
Yeah. He's not that far away from breaking something.
Clark came in with a rushing touchdown. Had 30 carries on the season coming in. And 124 yards rushing before tonight's game. Eyes their leading ground gainer. Clark was second behind him. Again, Clark. Clark makes it 3. 3rd down and 3 coming up. Tackle made by Matthew Keene.
Clark came in tonight, I think you mentioned this, the second leading rusher on this ball club, averaged about 41 a game. Another one of the good seniors on this ball club.
Handoff to Isa. First down. And he'll stop at the 50-yard line before being plowed under by about 3 or 4 wearing a red helmet. He'll pick up 5. Unofficially now, 17 carries, 72 yards for Isa. And again, Washington has moved the ball on every drive. Just a matter about getting to the end zone. Clock rolls. Approaching a minute left to go in the third quarter. Hand off again. That's Chestnut. Chestnut runs to a tackle. Runs to daylight. Finally brought down inside of the 25-yard line.
Listen, I love it. That's passion football right there. That's what you want out of your players, Greg. That's a senior leader. There's 17 seniors, I believe, on this ball club, and they've got to be the leaders right now. They've got to take this game and put it on their shoulders, and that's what this senior did right here.
Chestnut with 28 yards on that carry, by far the biggest ground gain of the night for the Hatchets. He'll get it again, and Chestnut takes off. He'll be taken down just around the 10-yard line. Again, another first down.
Got to finish, Greg. Got to finish. He's asking for a sub right here. Rightfully so. Love it. Love inspired football. He got off the ball in a hurry. Showed a ton of leadership by how he played the game right there. Red zone offense right now, Greg.
Handoff goes to IHSAA. IHSAA did a good job to make a man miss, but runs into about half of the Princeton student body. Picks up 1, 2nd and 9. And time is starting to wind down here in the quarter. Got to find the end zone on this drive. Can be in the fourth quarter, but you got to hit pay dirt here if you're the Hatchets.
No question. No question. Everybody's got to do their job. Communicate. Get off the football. Key for this, offensive line, got to get off the football.
Hatchets do not have to snap it here, and they won't need to. And there's not much negative right now for Princeton with an 11-point lead on the road. But 11 penalties would be that one negative they're dealing with right now.
If they don't hold on, that will be a stat that kind of sticks out to you here in this ball game. Washington now has caught them a couple times. Catch me once, okay, but 2 and 3 times, you got to be aware of that. That's a good call on Washington's part. Here comes, that should be a penalty.
Handoff goes to Clark. Clark barreling forward, touchdown. Won't need to flag on that one. Clark is in. His second rushing touchdown. Hatchets answer the bell. It's back to a one-score game.
How about a sense of urgency, Greg? You like that. That team showed that when the chips were down, they found a different gear and passion. And, man, they scored as quick there as we've seen them all night.
So they got the ball back with less than 3 to play in the quarter. Took it all on the ground from their own 38-yard line on, so a 62-yard scoring drive. And you talked about this. The Princeton defense has been on the field a lot.
Yeah.
Most of those guys are playing both ways. The war of attrition starts to catch up now, and it's a 5-point game. So Washington Wise is going to go for 2 here.
I can tell you this. I played both ways in high school. You don't much do that in college. But you will get tired much quicker playing a long defense than you ever will on offense.
High formation. Right rolls. Throws to the back of the end zone.
Got it.
IHSAA. 2-point try is good.
There you go. We got a ball game.
And it is a 3-point game. Every time one team's at momentum, Jay, the other team has got it right back.
Yeah, this was impressive right here. Washington did so many things right and was able to do it after really a back-breaking mistake. Execution is always key. If you're going to make a comeback, Greg, it's because you executed.
One of a couple of really good games going on in ISC right now. In Brownsburg and Avon, that's number 1 and number 9 in 6A. Brownsburg 42,
wow.
Avon 39 with 11:40 left to go.
Well, I've heard a lot. I've not seen Avon this year, but I've had a lot of people tell me they are vastly improved.
We have seen Rob Gibson a lot on ISC over the years. Played at South Putnam, played at Marion University, took Owen Valley deep into the tournament for taking the job at Avon, and you kind of knew it'd be a matter of time before he got it going. Avon, a program with great football tradition.
They absolutely do. Boy, that would be, to say the least, though, a major upset. Those are rivals. Those guys are in each other's back doors.
This could be the last play of the quarter here. Although Browning airmails this, so there won't be. He hit that one to Highway 57.
Isn't it amazing how good offense, good defense inspires good kicking? It all kind of goes together, doesn't it?
And if the game comes down to kicking, I like Washington's chances.
Yeah.
Browning's already made from 43.
Now let's see from Princeton's standpoint. They certainly still lead to bring back that punch that you need on this offense to get something done, because this is all about their running game.
On the handoff, and there goes Pope again.
You can't make this up.
Won't be touched.
You cannot make this up.
80 yards. Touchdown on the final play of the third quarter. We have a lineman down behind the play. That mutes the celebration for a moment for Princeton. But by our total, Pope 9 carries, 210 yards. His third touchdown of the night. He's got 9 on the season.
He's just that guy. You cannot miss him. You miss him, he scores.
Princeton, great formation. They went 4 wide to thin down kind of safeties and linebackers. So Princeton now a 2-score lead. And the Princeton players all hustling back.
Yeah, that's good news.
To help up their fallen offensive lineman, who now is walking off under his own power.
That's good news.
We will finish the extra point, and then we will finish the quarter.
You make a great point there. What they try to do is spread it to get some isolation, because you want him one-on-one. That's what you want him to get. And if you get him one-on-one, more often than not, he'll win that battle. Wow. When he's gotten through that first layer, Greg, he scored tonight. He just has.
He now has over 700 yards rushing, does Pope, in the first 4 games of the season. And again, every touchdown play for Princeton has been 37 yards or longer. There is a significant disparity in number of snaps in this game. But the team that has had the ball the least currently has a 2-score lead.
Yep. It's talked about the time of possession, such an important stat, because defense going to be tough, still work in progress. Offense has got to help.
Will Height hits the extra point, and Princeton takes a 35-25 lead to quarter number 4. Final 12 minutes of Hatchet Hollow when we come back on ISC.
Washington Community Schools, in partnership with Indiana University, is launching a kindergarten dual language immersion program in the fall of 2023, with plans to expand to other elementary grade levels. Dual immersion education integrates an equal number of native English-speaking and native Spanish-speaking students in the same classroom. Students develop oral and cognitive academic language in both English and Spanish while mastering grade-level knowledge and skills in all content areas. Dual immersion education is impactful because students become more empathetic to different perspectives, learn about other cultures, and are better prepared for a diverse workplace. Our dual language immersion classrooms are based on a 50-50 model in which 50% of the instruction is delivered in English and the other 50% is delivered in Spanish each day. This program will fit perfectly with our already diverse student population. At all grade levels, our English language learner students receive daily language instruction to supplement what they've been learning in the classroom. These students come with languages other than English, which gives our schools the opportunity to learn from other cultures and ethnicities up close and personal.
Offensive snaps, 54-24 in favor of Washington.
That's an amazing stat.
The scoreboard, 35-25 in favor of Princeton.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is not how long you have it, it is what you do with it.
That is so true. And then it just complete, after looking at Princeton this week, it just talked about there's so many things you have to do, most of them on defense, but man, they just some really dynamic runners. And so obviously, Mr. Obvious here, you keep him off the field. And Washington's defense has done a decent job of that piece of it. But big play after big play after big play is the difference right now. Still a whole quarter to be played, though.
Both teams 2 turnovers so far in the game. Kickoff field at the 20-yard line and taken down at the 30. Tackle made by Jalen Martin for Princeton.
Well, Washington just showed us they can score in a hurry. They don't have to be in a super hurry, but they certainly need to be efficient, and they've got to finish. This is going to be a track meet, and you just cannot now not leave points. You got to finish drives. You got to put points on the board.
At the risk of repeating myself again, I think if you're Washington, maybe you pick up the pace slightly, but I still think you can run the football effectively here, Jan.
I think you're exactly right. There's no time to be panicked. What you do need to be is efficient.
Emick will come on here to be an extra player in the formation. Handoff. That's Clark. And Clark busted out the left side. And he'll be ridden down. Late flag coming in. There's 2 flags on the play. They're both well down the field. Or even if this is called back for some yards, it'll be a hatchet first down.
Well, you're right. It was deep down the field. It's either a hold or a block in the back. There it is, block in the back.
It is a block in the back, but it is a block in the back after a gain of 28 yards.
Right there it is. Right there it is. You've seen it right at the end of the play. No question about it.
But it will still be 1st and 10 for the Hatchets in plus territory. Love the double box there by our director, Vince Morales.
That's a good shot. Just got to lay off that. You're going 100 miles an hour, but when you're downfield near the ball, you got a bunch of eyes watching. You got to back off that.
Nose the football at the 47. It'll be Isa motioning into the slot. Clark.
Oh, that's a good tackle.
1 yard, and that's it. Connor Marsh, we've called his name a lot, especially on defense. 2nd and long.
Yeah, you have called his name because he's one of their promising juniors, and let me tell you, he has played a very nice ball game.
The last time I said Marsh that much, they still had supermarkets, Jim. 2nd down and 9. I'm not sure they were managed this part of the state, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Central Indiana reference. On the handoff and nowhere to go. Run penetration that time by Princeton.
Wow, now all of a sudden the backs are against the wall by the Hatchets. It's 3rd and called about 13, Greg.
That was Waylon Taylor, who was the wrecker of homes that time as Chestnut is dropped for a loss of 3.
All of a sudden now you've got to you don't have to get it all, but, man, you need to be awful close to change and take any risk.
But I would say you're 4 down territory
here,
Jim.
You have to be. Being down, you have no choice, I think.
Trips near side. Looking for the deep ball. Merrill got it. He'll keep his feet. Touchdown.
How about that?
3rd and 13 for 49 yards to the house.
Can anybody stop anybody?
2nd touchdown toss for Wright tonight.
Hey, I love the grit. Washington clearly could kind of hang their head, but they have not done that at all. Every time you kind of feel like this thing may be slipping away, they have found a way to answer the bell and get right back in it.
So Merrill gets his 2nd touchdown grab of the season. 5 different Hatchet players have caught passes tonight. Wright 6 for 1,105 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. And Browning is on to make it a 3-point game yet again. And his extra point try is up and through. 10:20 left to go and nothing decided just yet. Tigers lead it by 3 on ISC. The Davies County Chamber of Commerce Foundation harnesses the power of business to create solutions for the good of the Chamber of Commerce and business community throughout Davies County, Indiana. I'll tell you more about our friends at Davies County after this kick, and this one appears headed for the end zone and touchback, which allows me to say this. To learn more and make your contribution, contact the Davies County Chamber of Commerce. DiscoverDavies.com.
I know one thing. It's been a lot of fun. Element of surprise has been pretty good, right?
This has been far and away, and we knew this was going to be the case. The best game of the three we have come down here to broadcast at Hatchet Hollow. And Jan, Joe Morris and I were already making plans for next year's schedule. We talked this week. And you and I enjoy this trip south every year. Next week you will be Carmel and Columbus North, is that right?
Columbus North. That should be a good. Columbus North pretty good this year.
I'll have Ben Davis and Warren Central as my game next week.
That'll be a battle.
I've been playing that game for about 80-plus years or so. Fumble snap, turns into an unintentional delay draw and picks up 3 yards.
I believe the Greyhounds are down in Kentucky today.
They are playing routine Kentucky State champs Trinity in Louisville.
I had that game last year, Carmel and Trinity had their day.
2nd down and 7.
Be interesting to see that score. Carmel really coming out strong early.
Play clock at 15 here. Pope was going so fast he almost ran by the quarterback on the handoff. Below kind of had to put that ball like on his hip. Gain of 2 on the play. 3rd down and 5.
You know, you talk to players all the time, more so a little bit on defense. At this point in time in the game, you got to make plays. You got to make plays.
We have had 2 punts in this game. 1 for each team. 3rd and 5 what the Tigers are facing here. And Prince is not exactly in slowdown mode, but they are just kind of going to the sideline, getting the call, taking their time. There have not been many defensive stops in this one. Washington looking for one here. Quarterback will keep. He'll throw.
Well, I think he's out of bounds.
Catch made at the marker.
Yeah, out of bounds, I think, Greg, right?
Do they wave it off?
Yeah, I think so.
That is correct.
Take a look here. Look, we're a long way away, but yeah, the left foot was on the line when he caught it.
Correct. Michael Brown was the intended target.
Boy, this is not what Princeton wanted to do. The last thing they wanted to do was hand clock and the ball over to Washington.
This is Drake Cox that is back to punt this ball away. 4th down and 5. The rare in this game, 3 and out. Hop to the punter, trying to get it away. That did not go well.
No, it did not, and Washington somehow, some way, has got the ball back, Greg, in great field position. Take a look. Bad snap. He was able to handle it, at least save the touchdown. But by that time, Washington was all over him. And, boy, now that Hatchets have got the ball and a chance, would you believe, to go ahead.
Hatchets had one drive that started at the 2-yard line. This will start at the Princeton 23. Now again for Washington, it's quite simple. Do what you have done. Move the ball 3, 4, and 5 yards at a time. In the I formation, it's IHSAA. IHSAA, nothing doing. He'll lose a yard. Ron Kearney in on the play for Princeton.
Greg, key for Washington right now is stay away from mistakes. Execution has not been a problem.
They've completed 5 of their last 6 passes, have the Hatchets. They'll bring Clark back in. Clark and Chestnut both really kind of picked up their footing.
Chestnut's had a good ball game. I think he's ran the ball relatively very well.
Great balance. Eyes is 71 yards. Clark 65 yards. Chestnut 54 yards on the ground. Play clock at 11. Right. Looks. Scrambles.
Get rid of it.
Tucks it and runs. Flag is down. He's got positive yardage, but
probably going to be a holding. That's usually what happens in a situation like this. Let's see if that's the call.
So he had carried the ball past the 20, but this one's coming back.
What happens is you, as a lineman, you're trying to block, then he takes off running, then he doesn't, and you kind of just, it causes, didn't quite see it in that shot. Not sure who he called it on, but I'm not saying it didn't happen just because I didn't see it.
6 penalty for 55 yards against the Hatchets.
Penalties are never a good thing, but the timing of this one certainly wasn't good.
And a 3 would tie it, but
I'm not sure 3's enough.
On the handoff, Clark knocked down and picking up most of that yardage from the penalty.
I mean, to my point, sure, you want to tie it up, but the problem is Princeton hasn't been stopped.
I'm not sure that 3 points will be the last points of the game.
That's my point, yeah. I think that's what I was trying to say. You said it much better than I did.
Emick will come back on here. 3rd down again. Browning has attempted 2 field goals. Both from 43, has made 1 and missed 1.
3rd and 15. Big down.
Play clock is at 7. Again, the handoff to Clark. Clark, left side, big gain. Not a first down, but now a really interesting decision. 4th down and call it 4.
Oh, this
coming up here for the Hatchets.
This is where you earn your money, Greg.
It was a solid gain. Call it 10 on the play.
I think the clock has to dictate your decision here.
And they will try the field goal.
What I mean by that, there's still tons of time. Get your points, tie it up. There's tons of time here. I would certainly go for the field goal.
34 yards. Even though this is a different end of the building, they've all been from the left hash. Again, plenty of leg. Is it accurate? The answer is yes.
He's got to a groove and been very efficient.
Mr. Browning is just a sophomore. He might have a future doing this past his high school days. We are tied at 35 with 6:11 left to play. We're back in a moment on ISC. To say we have ourselves a good one is an understatement. Tied at 35. 6:11 left to go. Line drive kick that hops over one man and needs to be fielded eventually, is picked up by Pope at the 10-yard line.
Got to get him down.
Pope is weaving his way through traffic. Flag is thrown. Flag is thrown. Pope is still going. And eventually, well, he still hasn't stepped out of bounds yet, but again, it's a great effort that is all for naught, because now this will be, each team has had a kickoff return touchdown recalled because of a penalty.
Well, the bad news is Pope just exhausted tons of calories on that for nothing.
We have a Washington player down on the far sideline. But this will come all the way back. In fact, the ball will now be inside the 20-yard line. 12th penalty against Princeton. Player that is down for the Hatchets, Donovan Dean Jackson.
Yeah.
Getting checked on by the trainer. And again, temperature's a bit warmer tonight than it has been, which is crazy to say in week number 4. It's a great night now.
See what
Here you see Pope is exhausted after that effort.
"71 degrees right now at almost 10 o'clock, Greg.
Which is a little bit, again, warmer than it has been,
Yeah.
but wonderful night.
Beautiful night. Boy, this young man can flat out run, can he? You hate if you're Princeton, you hate the fact he used a ton of energy, but I think he's still got a little more in the tank. I don't think he's on E yet.
He'll sleep well tonight.
Yes, he will.
How about that work to stay in bounds? But all for naught. Already has 3 touchdowns this evening. It's been the big play for Princeton. Now you almost wonder, can they play keep away? Here with 5:53 left to go.
Is Pope out for a play? I think he may be.
False start. If Princeton cannot hang on in this game, and obviously it's all level now, but the only thing that they will look back in a negative fashion tonight will be penalties.
No question.
13 of them.
No question. It's been if they lose, it will be the complete storyline for them. Kind of like free throws in basketball. It's hard not to put penalties and turnovers. It's a huge key to any game.
And a timeout taken by Princeton. We'll take it with them. 5:51 to go on this one. All square at 35 on the ISC Sports Network. Well, they got our friends at Country Oaks Golf Club in Montgomery. They highlight the unique hospitality and recreation available in Southwest Indiana, located in Davies County. Experience golf as it should be. Book your next golf outing at Country Oaks Golf Club.
I bet the tee times are packed tomorrow. I'm just taking a wild guess. It's supposed to be like 85 tomorrow.
I'm actually playing on Monday. Not at Country Oaks. I'd love to play there at some point in time. Haven't played since like the end of July.
Wow.
I'm sure it'll be reflected in my swing. Below. Pressure.
Coming
Coming.
down.
Dropped.
Oy.
Ball comes out. Ball is loose. Who's got the football? It's still being exchanged hands. It is recovered by Princeton, I believe.
Yeah, I don't think.
And I think they're going to say not for a safety, but just outside of the goal line. So it is second down and nearly 30 yards, but that could have been so much worse for the Tigers.
Well, it's been a long game. A lot of miles been put up and down this field. You're getting down, Greg, to the final 5:39. The old concentration starts to get a little bit weary when you played a long, hard game.
That is the first sack of tonight's game because, frankly, there's not been many passing attempts in tonight's game. So second and forever. First goal has to be to get this out of the end zone, which is why the quarterback just takes it and plows forward. And given how the last punt went, I'm not sure your next play is much different if you're Princeton. We'll give him forward progress out to the 2-yard line.
If there ever was a time your defense needs to make a stop, it is now. The time is now.
Well, it's third and a third of the field, even with the speed of these Princeton players. Although you'll notice
But a lot of big plays, a lot of funny big plays.
Pope is not on the field currently.
No, he's not. But Cox is. He's pretty good too.
Hand off to the fullback. Just get what you can. It'll be a gain of 3. Pile keeps moving. And that'll be that. That is Marsh to the heavy lifting on that play. But here comes the punt team on. And again, the last punt, disastrous for Princeton. And all of a sudden now, that kicking game that has been so good for Washington, now that could potentially win you the game here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
LaShore back to return. Or is that right? That's right, the quarterback. Also plays a little defense too. And he is standing at the plus 42-yard line.
The stars are aligning. Washington's got to finish this thing strong.
Princeton late getting in formation. Play clock at 2, at 1. Well, that may have been a Washington player offside. Yeah, it's going to be offsides against Washington. Turner had just got, he was kind of timing it on the play clock and just got a bit anxious. So a little bit of a reprieve here, 5 additional yards. And the last punt was Cox. Now it is Wilhite who is back deep to punt this ball away for Princeton.
Not a lot of real estate back there.
Not a great kick, but much better. And that'll work for Princeton just fine. Ball will be down at about the 45-yard line.
All things considered, Princeton's not going to be in too bad a shape here.
Yeah, it ends up being a plus 37-yard kick with no return. And now if you're the Hatchets, frankly, your goal is to be the last team that touches the football tonight.
It's almost like it's meant to be the last team to score if you're going to win this thing today, obviously.
Well, again, we appreciate you joining us. We're down this way once a year for football, and this by far has been the best of the games that we have done over the years here in this building.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Different type of game, but a lot of fun. You know, just two teams. At the end of the day, in a game like this, just find a way to win. Just flat out find a way to describe a W on your schedule. However you do it now, doesn't matter.
Handoff goes to IHSAA. And IHSAA just churns forward. He'll pick up 7 yards. 20 carries, 78 yards for IHSAA. 51 rushing plays in tonight's game for the Hatchets. This next snap will be their 63rd offensive snap of the game.
I think this kid's had a good ball game.
He's had looks at the Division III level and a IA level as well.
He could play at the next level. There'll be a home for him somewhere.
IHSAA again. First down. Will be stopped at about the 34-yard line. And you will take 6 yards a clip and just keep the clock rolling right now.
Yes, you will.
If you're the Hatchets. And you're about 10 yards away from being in field goal range. You don't want to leave it to chance. You want to get to the house if you can, but IHSAA will come out for this snap. Princeton can stop it twice. Washington has all 3 timeouts remaining. Hatch is trying to make it back-to-back. Wins against Princeton the last 2 years and wins on this season. Handoff goes to Chestnut. Good cut back inside. Limited to 3 on the carry. Hatchet's content just to let the sands of the hourglass start to pick up a little quicker here.
Greg, how about the Fisher Tigers winning the Mudsock tonight, 28-16 over the Royals?
Both teams now 3-1 on the season.
Yeah.
HSAA have been unbeaten. Trinity beat Carmel 41-28, so Carmel falls from the ranks of the unbeaten.
Well, the team they play next week was beat by Roncalli. Roncalli beat Columbus North tonight.
Brownsburg leading Avon 55-47. Second down and 7 here. 2 minutes left to go in this game.
Got to take care of business. Oh, that's way offsides.
Wide receiver moved. No offsides. Defensive line jumped, another free 5 yards.
I think it was the far defensive end who got way too big of a jump. That's at least what I seen. But of course, it's hard to see if the offensive has any movement, and if you're a defense, you're moving when the offense moves. So they clearly seen what I did, and that was the defensive end for Princeton got way too much jump.
Good look at a very full house here at Hatchet Hollow. Can you pack as many fans as you could inside the Hatchet House? No. But this is a perfect size facility for this great community in southwestern Indiana.
It's been a lot of fun. Huge parade. The band was phenomenal.
Jet sweep, IHSAA. IHSAA drives through a tackler and picks up a first down. To the 17-yard line, to the 22-yard line. And that'll be a gain of 5 for IHSAA on his 22nd carry of the game. And again, you're comfortably in field goal range for Browning now. I wonder at what point does Princeton start to take timeouts? Well, it looks like a timeout's coming here. Let's see if this is, I think we have a clock issue they're going to put a couple of seconds back on. Minute 28 on the clock.
Yeah, they need a couple seconds back on the clock.
But then they'll wind it at that point once they do that.
Here we go. Starts the clock. It's moving.
Right will keep. Tripped up.
Oh,
good tackle. Loses a yard. That's Marsh.
Wow.
Again, those both kids on both sides have been tremendous.
Yeah, Marsh has played a well of a game. Absolutely, just got off that block and then read the tackle like you would want a linebacker to.
And here comes the timeout. I think that is taken by Princeton. Yep, they will burn their second timeout here with 59 seconds left to go. We'll step away. Back after this on the ISC Sports Network. Last time the Hatchets beat Princeton in back-to-back seasons, 2010 and 2011. Trying to pull that off tonight. Trailed by 10. Frankly, their large deficit was 11 at 28-17. Trailed 35-25. But now are driving at the Princeton 23-yard line.
What we got?
And LaShore apparently has a equipment issue.
Washington is still with all 3 timeouts.
No mouthpiece for LaShore, so he is sent to the sidelines. 2nd and 11. Handoff goes to IHSAA. IHSAA tripped up, shy of the first down, picks up 9 yards. He is just shy of 100 on the night. Timeout called. If it's Princeton, it's their last one. Yep, Princeton has just burned their last timeout. And all right, if you're Washington now, are you saying we're kicking? I mean, you're not going to kick it now, obviously. But are you committing to the field goal? Are you still thinking about the end zone here now that Princeton is out of timeouts?
I think you're thinking the end zone. I think that Washington has plenty of time here, at least 2, maybe 3, or even more, depending, because they got all 3 timeouts. You want to end this thing. You know, Locke could go a little haywire with field goal kicking, although he's been solid. They'd love to find the end zone here, Greg. Absolutely leave no discussion.
Couple more seconds right on the clock to put it back to 50 seconds.
And you know you got your really good field goal kicker sitting in the wing. So that's always an option. You get in the end zone, though, and that's.
Browning has missed from 43, has made from 43, and made from 34. He has 4 makes on the season. His longest 45. He is well inside of that. Princeton can't stop it again. 3rd and short. Handoff goes to Clark. First down, upended inside of the 10. Clock will stop just to set the change, but as soon as it is marked, clock will wind. Ball is at the 9-yard line after a 5-yard pickup for Clark. And basically, if you're the Hatchets, you can kind of run a play, kind of position the ball where you want, take a timeout, and kick it. At that point, handoff goes to IHSAA. IHSAA does a good job of just putting that ball in the breadbasket, getting to the center of the field. Timeout is taken here by Washington. So clearly they're going to run at least one more offensive snap.
Absolutely.
With 22 seconds left to go. So IHSAA will pick up 4 yards. That puts him over 100 yards. 24 carries, 102 yards for IHSAA tonight. And so now it's either about, okay, where do you want to put the kicker at this point? Or do you have a play that you feel safe in going for the end zone knowing you got 2 timeouts in your pocket?
I still think you look at the end zone here. I just do. Funny things happen sometimes on field goals. Secure it. I think that's option. You got time for 2 plays here, especially with 2 timeouts. So the key here is no mistakes. This is all about execution.
Washington led early at 7-0. Princeton then scored the next 2 touchdowns to make it 14-7. Hatchets jumped in front early 3rd quarter, 17-14. Princeton scored and then scored again on an 81-yard pick 6 off a tip pass by Michael Brown. Thought that might be it. Oh, the Hatchets answered to make it 28-25. Princeton scored the very next play. But since then, it's been all Hatchets. Handoff goes to IHSAA, and IHSAA into the pile.
Going to be a field goal now.
He stopped there. Hatchets again will burn another timeout. So now on 3rd down, they will run one more play.
Wow.
With the idea of getting to the end zone. And if not, call the timeout, send your field goal unit on, and try to end this one in regulation.
I think you're right. Everybody's got to be on their toes. Everybody from the head coach to the assistant coach, everybody's got to do their job, watch the clock. Everybody, you got to execute, no fumbles, no mistakes.
A lot of times at the NFL level, you will see a team send their special teams unit out on 3rd down just in case you have a problem with the snap. You just kind of turtle it and kick it again.
Yep.
I don't think that's what Washington's doing here. They've kind of got their jumbo formation out there currently. But with 17.8 seconds left, you're not concerned about the clock running out on this play. And again, you are really in extra point territory at this point in time. If you're joining us after watching the Brownsburg-Avon game, 6A number 1 Brownsburg goes to 4-0. They beat Avon 55-47. Right now going under center. Straight handoff to IHSAA. He is met and dropped. And again,
timeout.
Here comes the timeout. So IHSAA loses 5 yards. I was going to say, I don't think the Washington didn't ask for a timeout. So the ball is at the 10-yard line, and there is a little bit of debate as to whether a timeout was asked for by Washington. I don't think they asked for one, but they were granted one. Now they will have to kick the ball. and potentially then kick it back to Princeton.
Well, nevertheless, they used the timeout, so it's gone. So there are no more timeouts left.
So the ball's at the 10-yard line. The conversation amongst our crew is still ongoing. So the field goal team is running onto the field. And frankly, I kind of like what the quarterback just did. He kind of took charge. So you know what? Get the field. Let's go. Let's stop thinking or wondering what's going to happen.
Yep.
Get the field goal unit out there and let's go. From 27 yards out. Got it. Inside the upright. Washington takes the lead. Now, 10 seconds left to go, so it's not done yet. But the Hatchets take the lead with 10 seconds remaining.
No one has sang just yet. You can't. We've seen enough things in this ball game to understand it ain't over till it's over.
But how about the weapon that Hatchets have in their sophomore kicker?
Yeah, he's solid.
Carter Browning.
Yeah, he can literally put that thing a country mile, and once he got his rhythm, man, he has been really solid.
It is rare that a high school team will attempt 4 field goals in a game. There are some high school teams that don't attempt 4 field goals all season.
Yeah. He's solid, no doubt about it.
He is now 5 of 6 on the year.
I think you're going to get a squib of some sort here, Greg. Get it on the ground, make it difficult to pick up.
I don't see Pope out there, who, again, is
I haven't seen him out there for a
since
while.
That last kickoff return, basically.
Yeah, he's not been out there for a while.
And neither team has a timeout remaining. Again, this one is topped. Clock starts here.
That's
ball
over.
is loose. If Washington gets it, that's the ball game. Waiting for a signal. Hatchets certainly think like they have the ball.
We haven't had a signal yet, have we?
It is. They're pointing as it is Princeton's ball. Washington thinks they have it. It is deemed that Princeton has the ball with 4.8 seconds left to go.
Well, this is interesting. Here comes the tip drill. Washington. Now here's the scrum. Hard to tell out of that shot.
So Princeton will have the ball with 4.8 seconds left to go. Again, it is time for Stanford versus Cal. I guess for us, we should say Danville versus Brebeuf.
We've seen it. We've seen multiple times.
Given last year's sectional opener.
Hold on to your seats. All we're trying to say. Funny things have happened. I think typically Washington, you usually send people way back as safeties. And get ready for the lateral pass movement. Incomplete pass will end it. Here
Bolts
it comes.
Hands it off, but tackled, ball game over. Washington in come from behind fashion gets the dramatic 38-35 win. The Hatchets are 3-0 with our IHSAA Sports Network cameras here at Hatchet Hollow. Again, this one, as expected, was far more competitive. Had more twists and turns and a country road. But the Hatchets come out victorious. Jan, your final thoughts on this
Well,
one?
I think, number one, Coach Morris excited about getting a victory. In high school football, and we've talked a lot about Game 4, just find a way to get a victory. But on top of that, how about the grit? His team could have died multiple times, and they did not. They kept scratching and clawing and somehow found a way to overcome some penalties, some mistakes, and beat a pretty good Princeton ball club.
Great balance tonight Wright, 105 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, interception. Eisen, 102 yards rushing, 25 carries. Clark, 89 yards rushing. Chestnut, 57 yards rushing. For Princeton, the obvious story, Carwin Pope, 10 carries, 212 yards, and 3 touchdowns. A touchdown for Cox, as well as an interception return for Michael Brown. Every touchdown for the Tigers, 37 yards or longer. Those are the offensive stats. But the guy that scored the last 6 points and made 3 field goals tonight is Browning, the sophomore, with, after he missed his first from 43, with makes of 43, 34, and 27 with the game on the line to get the W.
Yeah, and I think for Princeton, you said it earlier, I think you're dead right. They're going to look back at this, and mistakes and penalties really, at the end of the game, everybody had a shot, but certainly from their storyline, penalties were a big problem for Princeton tonight. And on the other piece, their defense was out there for a long time. And so from that perspective, Washington did exactly what they wanted to do, was try to wear out the defense. And at the end of the day, they made the plays to win a ball game. That's all that matters.
So Joe Morris will give the victory speech to his team, knowing our crew has a lengthy drive home. We will start to exit stage left. Thank you, Joe Morris. Thank you, Larry Cochran. Thank you, everybody involved in Washington Community Schools for having us down, and look forward to doing this again in 2026. For Jan Bozier, our entire ISC Sports Network crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. Good night from Hatchet Hollow. It wasn't easy, but the Hatchets get the W. 38-35 our final score. Good night, and thanks for joining us on the ISC Sports Network.
When I was a little girl, I always knew that Davies County was home.
We grew up in East Germany. When the wall came down, we took our chances for travel. We moved to the United States. The first 5 years went so fast.
And after 10 years, it is 30 years by now, and we are still here in Davies County as home.
The 2 things that make companies successful is money and talent. And if you never run out of talent, you'll never run out of money. So it never dawned on me to set up our company anywhere different than Davies County, Indiana.
I started playing music at a young age, and I've traveled around the country, but I moved to Montgomery in 2015, and the more of the world that we get to see and the more opportunities that open up for us, there's really still just no place like coming home.
So at Artisan Electronics, we support the Navy all across the world from our location here in Davies County at the West Gate at Crane Technology Park. And just as important to our location are the people that we employ to support the warfighter. We find the people here in Central Indiana be top-notch quality of talent.
It's just a strong community.
For the last 182 years, Davies County has been home for our families. And to see my children raise their children on the property here, it's really makes the guy feel good.
Up in Indianapolis, I found myself working. Down here, there's more of a work-family balance. I think that was the biggest draw, is that I could still practice my orthopedics at a very high level. However, I still was able to coach my kids, get the ball games, be involved in all activities.
It was very important for us that no matter what our children do, what they become, where they go to college, that they get every opportunity that we can give them, and I knew that they would get that at Davies County from preschool to 12th grade.
If you can find a place like Washington, a place that's this close, that you have people that support you and you support them, and you can make a difference to people, you know, that's what I love about coming back home and being here, and that's why I always want to stay.
So now when people ask, why Davies County, it's all because of the people.
We are.
We are.
Davies.
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 Davies County.